Hey y'all, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandy and I'm a graphic designer and a health coach. And today, Little B and I are gonna show you two of my favorite protein packed recipes. They're easy, quick to make, and of course, super delicious. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so first off, we're starting with one of my favorite breakfasts. This is my delicious cream of rice recipe. You get 3 servings out of this recipe, and by the time you add in the toppings and everything else, you're looking at well over 30 grams of protein per serving. So I'm just starting out with a medium-sized pot, and I'm adding 3 servings of cream of rice, which is 135 grams. And to the pot, I'm adding my Flex vegan protein powder. I'm adding 2 scoops. This is the chocolate fudge brownie flavor, and of course I've featured this protein on my channel numerous other times, and this protein is delicious. It is probably one of the best chocolate vegan proteins I've had. And then 1 scoop of PEScience Select Vegan Protein in the flavor Peanut Butter Delight. I've also been using PEScience Vegan Protein for years, and I do love their peanut butter flavor. So this cream of rice recipe is like a chocolate peanut butter cup, and it's just completely delicious. I add in a couple dashes of salt and 3 cups of water. I'm also adding in 40 milliliters of sugar-free white chocolate syrup. This just enhances that malty chocolate flavor that I love so much, and I do love the flavor of white chocolate, and it's great in this recipe. So I've got my pot on medium heat, and I'm just using a whisk, and I'm continuing to whisk everything together, make sure that nothing's sticking to the bottom because it will burn pretty easily and it will stick if you're not constantly whisking it. Or if you have a non-stick pot, it'll just start clumping. Now I don't mind a few clumps in my cream of rice, but I like for it to be smooth for the most part, so I just keep whisking it until it starts to get thick. Now for toppings, I like to add strawberries, blueberries, and some dairy-free yogurt. I've also been adding goji berries to the top of my cream of rice, and that is really delicious, and of course you get extra vitamins and minerals from goji berries, so that is a win. Goji berries actually add another texture to the cream of rice, so you really get a lot of the smoothness and the creaminess, but you also get a little bit of chew from the goji berry, so I like the layers of texture in this recipe as well. Now I've used all sorts of different non-dairy yogurts in this recipe. I do like So Delicious dairy-free vanilla yogurt just because it's really good on calories. I think it's like 80 calories per serving, but I've also used Forager's non-dairy yogurt, I've used Harmless Harvest, I've used several different brands, and they all work really great in this recipe. So if there's a certain kind of dairy-free yogurt that you don't like eating on its own, go ahead and try it in this recipe because it honestly might not make a difference. You might not even tell because the flavor of the cream of rice is so good, and the yogurt really just adds creaminess. And then what I like to do is just add like a half serving of the peanut butter party cookie butter from the same company that makes the Flex vegan protein. I just add like a half serving of that on top just to really enhance that peanut butter flavor. And look at that. Of course we gotta do the drizzle of stevia chocolate syrup. I love this NuNaturals brand. I've been using it for years. It is very good, and you only need a little bit. I would say like just 1 or 2 grams because the flavor is so strong and it's very sweet, so you just need a little bit. And here's an example of my recipe with the goji berries added on top. And again, this is the exact same recipe. I just add in goji berries right on top. This is about 14 grams of dried goji berries that I'm adding in, and it is divine. And of course, we also love this recipe because everything just starts to turn purple as you stir it. And if you know, you know, purple is my favorite color, so it's just a little bonus. And then these are the leftovers that you have, so these are the other 2 servings that I'll just store for later. And of course, even though I already know it's delicious, we had to do the taste test. And there it is. So good. I love this stuff really for any meal. It's great for breakfast, post-workout. It's also good enough to be a dessert. So I'm just saying. Again, depending on what kind of yogurt I use, it's anywhere between 420 to 500 calories, 30 to 34 grams of protein. So definitely filling, definitely delicious, and I love how easy it is to make, especially if you are meal prepping for the week. You can have leftovers for quite a few days. If you're eating this as a dessert, you can use that same recipe, and instead of putting frozen berries or goji berries on, you can actually use little baking chocolate chips on top as a dessert cream of rice. I've done that plenty of times before. I think that's actually how I started eating the cream of rice, is that I wanted a different kind of dessert, and so I'd use like little pieces of stevia chocolate bars, or I'd use just stevia based chocolate chips, and I'd just sprinkle a little half serving of that on top. And I still added yogurt, so either way the yogurt just kind of takes it to a new level, and then the chocolate chips make it a perfect dessert option. And you're still getting over 20 grams of protein per serving. Now let's get into this protein veggie tray bake. Super quick, super easy, very flavorful, high protein, of course, very delicious. And of course it's perfect for lunch or dinner. So really easy. I just took 1 large sweet potato and I used 1 large red bell pepper. I diced all that up, and I used a full bag of frozen broccoli, and the sauce was a mixture of black sesame oil, liquid aminos, garlic powder, Trader Joe's umami seasoning, black pepper, and just a little bit of stevia in the raw. I think I used 2 teaspoons. I'll be sure to put the full recipe in the description box below, but the sauce is bomb. So good. And I do use the vegan seitan cubes by Franklin Farms. I don't put that on the tray because the seitan is pre-cooked, so I just save that at the end and I put it on the side when all the vegetables are done. So after the sweet potato, bell pepper, and broccoli had the marinade added to it, I went ahead and put that in the oven. I baked it for about 20 minutes. Checked on it. Also, I did not put the edamame in right away with the rest of the vegetables because again, the edamame does not need that long to cook. So you really only add the edamame in when you have about 5 to 8 minutes left of baking time for everything else. And then when I had about, again, 5 to 8 minutes left, I just added in the edamame. Really, really love the macros on this meal. 1 serving of the veggie bake with the broccoli is 270 calories. You're looking at 45 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fat, and 9 grams of protein. Adding in the seitan, I love the Franklin Farms seitan in particular because it's only 60 calories per serving. So I ate close to 2 servings of this seitan, and that added on an extra 108 calories and 23 grams of protein. So the total for this meal with the seitan and the veggies was 378 calories, 50 grams of carbs, 5 grams of fat, and 33 grams of protein. Again, such a good meal. Lots of food density. This is a full plate of food, but for less than 400 calories, and it's very high protein. So these are the kinds of meals that I love eating because not only do they keep me full, but they are lower in calories and they have great macros on them. Good amount of carbs, great amount of protein, so filling, and of course, delicious. So if you have not tried something like a veggie tray bake like this, definitely try it, and just make sure to add in your additional protein source that is a lean or low calorie protein source. You could also use tofu, of course you could use tempeh. Really, this marinade will work on anything. So good. So yes, let me know if you try either of these recipes, whether you try the cream of rice or this veggie tray bake with the seitan or tofu, however you want to switch it up. Let me know if you try the dessert version of the cream of rice or the berry version of it with the goji berries. Either way, I do not think you will be disappointed, and you'll get those high protein gains from these meals as well. And you won't be in the kitchen all day, because you'll have meal prepped these things so that you can have them for several days afterwards. So thank you again so much for watching this video. As always, let me know what you think. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.